Willie D. Lyte.
Were there a female out there? Was there a female out there that you like really looked up to that made you want to get in the game? Oh.
Well, yeah, Shy Rock from the Funky 4+1 More was the first one that I had heard, and I was like, oh, wow, women do this. Okay, that's cool. And then, of course, it was Sequence with Angie B, Cheryl, and Blondie, and noticing all their different styles. But when I heard Salt and Pepper, that was when I was like, oh, okay, I could do this.
I ain't gonna lie. Like, I think it was, for me, the first one that I heard, first female I heard was Roxanne Shante.
Mm-hmm.
That was the one that I heard, and I was like, she talking shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then, then I heard Salt and Pepper, and I was like, yeah, they got something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I heard MC Lyte,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, I'm gonna be completely transparent with you. When I very first heard you, I was like, just another female rapper.
Mm.
And then you hit with that, you hit them with the cha cha cha,
Mm.
and I was like, the way I grade female rappers is the same way I grade male rappers.
Well, that's good.
It's like, is this person saying something that I perhaps might have said or wouldn't have thought of? Right?
I think I grade the same way. Mm-hmm.
And you got that.
Or the uncanny way in which something is presented. It's like, oh, like Ultramagnetic MC's Kool Keith. He was one of my favorites, especially the way he danced on that beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really.
But I was on the cool. I'm serious. Like, you was consistent from day one, but I was hating from day one.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie.
Terrible.
I was hating.
Yeah.
I was hating.
You and a whole lot of
I was
others.
hating on Pac too. When I first heard Pac, I was like, oh man, here this dude is, he's an actor, he coming into this world, it's just, hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I had no idea. Like, by the time he dropped that second one, I was like, oh yeah, this dude is the real deal.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's, I'm telling you, like that's how I get to favorites. Like, it's the ones that I respect their craft. And then also if they're good people, like I respect artists who go beyond the artistry and work on their character. It's cool what you do, but I'm more concerned about who you are than what you do. That's why I got friends who are not industry people. Some of my friends, I got many friends who work 9 to 5s, regular jobs, but it's all about character, It's not, just getting caught up in what somebody do and how much money they make and all that kind of stuff. You can find yourself in a dark place.
Yeah.
It's like you was alluding to earlier. If you don't know what you will do for money, you better know what you won't do for money. I'm going, just listening to you, following your journey. If you could, take one day throughout your journey, your journey to success, and redo it, one day, what would it be, and how would you change it to present a different outcome? What would you do differently?
I know exactly the day that I would want to change. And I had been on tour for some time. And I came home from tour, and I used to hang out with one of my security guards, Big Vaughn. Actually, I wasn't hanging out. He was working. Wherever I was, he was. So at some point, we became friends because, when you spend a lot of time with people, it's good at some point to have some sort of reverence or, getting along and it not being so stoic, like you work for me, I work for you kind of thing. And I love to play handball. It's one of the things that we played in junior high school. I always said when I finally got my first house, I was going to build a big wall and have a handball court in my backyard. Never happened. We were playing handball on like West 4th, downtown Manhattan. And we looked at the time, and there weren't mobile phones at this time. But I had a meeting with Nike to develop a shoe. The two designers were in New York from California, and I wouldn't stop playing handball to go meet them. Somebody else set the meeting. I don't know that I was in agreement with it for it to be at that time. And I missed the meeting. And there were no phones or anything, you know. There might have been pagers, but I don't know that I had one. I think it might have been like 1990, 1991, somewhere around there. But I was really tight with Nike. I think if you looked at anything from the late 80s into the early 90s, I had a really strong relationship with them. We did a lot of collaborations for my tours and presentations. And they were ready to do my shoe. And I was out in the street playing handball with no one to tell me, what the hell are you doing? Get your ass to that meeting right now. And I think that would have been the beginning of business on another level, which then would have, I believe, escalated things at a much quicker pace. And the decision that I made led me to more of safe, a safe route, which was a steady climb, but not as quickly as it could have been.
Had you ascended to the top, rapidly, perhaps you wouldn't have been prepared.
Absolutely. I mean,
that could have been disastrous.
Yeah, I don't think anything is by mistake. I think what results is the truth. And that was my truth. I wasn't ready for it, obviously. I didn't want to show up to a meeting that could have resulted in something, big, huge, maybe not. But whatever it was, I wasn't ready for it, which is why I didn't show up.